Michael here at drawingteachers.com. We're going to do name by request. I would do a boy's name. We haven't done that in a while. And we're going to do Jacob. Really nice short name for a large, blocky, graffiti kind of letter. And I'm going to do something sort of abstract with this. We're going to first block out, I guess, where we'll have the letters. But what we're going to do is take this A and I'm going to make a triangle out of it and just put little notches in that. And the J, I want this big part to be really big and heavy, and then sort of a short stick here, and then we're going to kick out a large piece right here for the J. The C and the O are both circles, and we're going to let them overlap. We're just going to cut into the C like that and let that be the C, and then the O, we're going to set the center of it off a little bit. And let's see, I think this A needs to have one of its feet kick out like that. And then for the B, it's kind of like the C, kind of like the O. We're going to, let's see, let this stick kick out, but it's going to shoot down and get narrower there. We're going to set the hole for it low, to kind of counterbalance that. And then we're going to add a couple extra pieces on here, maybe something right there. Let's add a little extra piece here and an arrow. And also a piece coming off of here. We'll let it step down and break like that. And we're just gonna entertain ourselves with. Let's add a little arrow, smaller arrow tip down here. And let's see, we'll let that piece of the A come there. We'll let another piece kick in there and have that match the curve of the C. That'll be good. Kick off a little piece right there. And we're just adding some little broken chunks here and there for effect. Okay, so kind of an abstracted Jacob. So now I'm going to erase right up here. You can have a lot of fun with this, by the way. Just play around with the core shapes that make up letters and then expand upon them. So I'm going to take a Sharpie and start outlining this. And I'll do the base letters first before I go in and do the extra pieces. So there's the J right there. I'm actually going to let the A overlap it. Alright, so there's the J. Now the A, remember we just made a triangle, but we cut out a piece down here. So it's really just based on a triangle. And then we're going to draw the center of it right there. Now, we started with an O for the C, and then we kind of found the center of it, and I'm just kicked out a big expressive C here. Like that. Okay, now the O. It's overlapping the B. I'm having a tough time getting this curve quite right, but by the time we're done, since they're cartoony graffiti letters, that won't matter too much. And then the B, we just made this almost like an exclamation point with an arrow tip on it, and use a similar shape as we had to the O. But we've offset the hole on that lower. So there's the base letters. Now we're just going to add some excitement and energy to it by adding extra pieces to extend the letters that come off from the letters. In this case, in the J, for instance, we've got a little piece that extends it, and then we're going to have an arrow. And a little piece on the C here. A little piece to extend that. Thought we'd try an arrow down here. And now for the J, this is just something I thought I'd step a little piece right here. And we can put a couple little lines in there, make that look like a building. Maybe these are city scapes or something like that. Let's do a little cloud shape right there, and maybe over in here we'll do a cloud shape for our little cityscape up here. All right, and let's make this a street. And let's make this right here. Let's make this have some triangles coming out from it, like it's sort of the sun or something. And I'm totally going with my gut here, just winging it. So, you know, as you look at yours, this is half doodle, half whatever. And here we'll just put some little rays coming out. There was an artist, Keith Haring. He put a lot of little dashes shaped on his letters. And over here, I think I want to put a little building right in there. And down here, just to balance that out, I think I'm going to put some little rays coming off of that. And on this part of the letter, I'm going to draw a couple of bricks. And here we'll draw a little walkway coming out from that. So kind of crazy. Not really sure what this is all about, but I want to contain it, so we're going to put an outline around the whole thing now. And how do you outline little dashes? Well, you just sort of make little lines and humps. So this is half name, half drawing, half doodle. Now on the tips of these, you can either square them off or round them. I'm going to square that off because if you actually try to run that tip all the way out, you might get to be very large. Alright, back up here to this cloud. Alright, that's looking kind of crazy. I'm going to back out a little bit from that. I want to give this whole shape a drop shadow. Which most of that's going to be down here. And I'm not going to have this shadow be as detailed as the actual line. It's going to approximate. Color that in black. And this is turning out to be a little more of an outline than a drop shadow. I'm making some technical imperfections happen here. But once we color in black, if it ends up being kind of an offset outline, that works. If your drop shadow isn't perfect on these complex shapes, it still looks fine. If you're going for technical perfection, just go real slow and work your offset. Alright, probably get a little bit up here. Probably not any there, maybe a little bit right here. Just want to thicken that up a bit. Alright, I have not done any erasing yet, so I want to get the rest of my pencil lines out of here. Alright, since I'm sort of playing around with a city type theme here, I'm going to take a blue colored pencil, a light blue, something like this, and I'm going to color in the background and leave my letters white right now. I'm going to color fairly light, but then when I get down into spaces like this, let that darken up a bit, and right next to the letter, that'll help those edges to pop. Follow the edge of the letter, and then just color that in. And we need to sharpen this up a little bit. it's hard with a colored pencil to get very dark, and I don't really want to get dark on this, so that's good. So I'm just coloring up around this cloud now. Not much to talk about here, just have to keep coloring until we get it all done. Jacob's been a pretty popular name in the last couple of years because of character in some movies, the Twilight movies. Those are about vampires. Don't know if you guys have watched those. I've got some kids that are into that, and then some younger ones that absolutely aren't yet. Let's see. I don't really want that blue up in there, so I'm going to cut back out, and because that's part of that shape that goes around the C, but I didn't have that closed right there, so I did color up there. Like I said, we won't call that a mistake. Right in here. Let's see, where's my Sharpie? Here, I'm going to close this off so that I know where to color to. So that's part of that shape around the C right there. I'm going to color right up next to it. If you're coloring something on the computer, you got to have your shapes closed if you're going to use a fill. Otherwise that color will spill out into areas you don't want. But since we're using pencil, we have control of that. Alright, I could spend more time refining that, but that's pretty close there. Just want to get that base color in, and we could take more time getting every little detail and edge nice and crisp. But right now, I'm more interested in moving on to coloring the letters, and I'm going to use a bright yellow. I'm going to color this shape around the C. And since I believe I want that to be sort of the idea of a sunshine kind of feeling. And because of that, I'm going to take a little orange. I've got an orange marker here. And we're just going to do a little bit of outlining with the orange. And that is a bright, bright orange. Alright, now this kind of looks like, it could be the sun, it could be fire. I think I need a little bit around the edge of the C here. Kind of worried that the orange will take over the whole shape though if I'm not careful. I'm going to make that very thin so as to leave some yellow. Just hit the edges of those letters. Okay, and that really pops right there. Now what about the color of the C? Well, let's go ahead, since we've covered up a lot of that yellow, let's go ahead and make the C yellow. I think it can stand to be that. And I don't have a very light orange, I don't think, in marker. So I'm going to take an orange colored pencil and I'm going to go back into this. Some orange colored pencil. Just so it isn't quite totally yellow, but it's got a little bit of orange in it. And let's see, let's make the inside of that also that color. Alright, now the J is kind of brick. I could do gray, I could do red. I don't really want to do a bright red. I'm thinking sort of a brownish red. I'll try this color here. It's sort of an earthy red. And it's colored pencil. And that's a good start, but it's just probably too light. So I'm going to come back now, start hitting it a little harder. And I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm going to sort of trace a line inside this to give a little highlight down there. And then color up to that. And you make colored pencil darker by layering it, but you're not going to get darker than the pencil itself. So it's only so dark it'll go. So let me get a red and mix in with that. Find a good red here, good soft red. Here's one. Oh, not red enough. This is the one we were using earlier on another lesson. Yeah, that looks better. Softer pencil. If you buy really cheap colored pencils, they're really quite hard, and they don't give a lot of color. So if you're finding that to be a problem, you might need to step up to a little more expensive pencils. You get what you pay for. If you go to the art supply store, you're going to get the best, and the folks at the art supply store can help you. You tell them what it is you're trying to do. So you need some softer colored pencils so you get really bright colors out of it. I'm going to put some lines in here for effect. I like a lot of texture in drawings. Like I said, you can really make a couple of those edges really nice and hard. To define that letter. And so this is not all red. This is sort of a burnt brownish color and red. Now the A, what do we do with that? I feel like we need a little green in this space, so I'm going to use marker for that. Got a green marker, and I'm not going all the way to the edges. I'm going to basically draw the A inside the A, at least most of it on the bottom. I'm going to color up from the bottom there. And then we'll come back with some colored pencil or another marker. Here's something that looks green. And let's see, I need a light green. This is a good color, but it's not sharp at all. do want to put something in here. I don't want it to be bright white. It's standing out too much. So just go in here with a soft green in that extra part. Alright, now the O, I'm thinking we haven't used blue, we haven't used purple. I'm thinking a light blue and then sort of a purple on the B. Although it's a street, what we'll do is we'll put some yellow right here in these little lines. And let me start with the B first. I've got a purple here. Just test the color, make sure that's what I want, and that'll work. Again, I'm not going to try to color all the way to the edges. Probably use some colored pencil too in this. Alright, we'll use that purple, and then let's see, I've got a purplish colored pencil, which is not going to be as dark. We'll work back into it some. So blending the marker and the colored pencil. And we're going to take some variation of purple. This is a magenta kind of pink. Put a little bit of that in there. I don't want to get too pink since it's a boy's name. Nothing wrong with pink for a boy's name, I guess, but I'm finding most boys don't like a lot of pink in their names. Let's see, look at another pencil. That's also, or marker, that's also kind of dark. So I'm just looking for something. Well, you know what we can do? We can take some of this blue and put it in there. It'll mix with that pink to be a soft purple. And use purple on the bottom of this arrow here. Do a little fixing up on there. And now on the O, I'm thinking right there that a blue will be a nice complement to that orange. So let's see if I can find a blue marker. Just want it to be a different blue from the sky. Let's do this with some lines. So it'll be a stripy blue. And then we'll fill that in with something else. Let's fill that in with another blue. We'll take our blue pencil and fill that in. So it's blue, but it has a stripe pattern. Where did that idea come from? I just didn't want the blue as dark as I thought that would look. So I thought if I fill it in with a lighter blue, and then kind of hit the edge with this lighter blue, it just won't be quite as dark as if I fill it in solid. And now we've got this arrow tip up here. I'll make that red. A little red to that, a little red to that. Now these are pieces of the A. I'm going to go ahead and finish those up. Just put a little yellow, green in there, coming off the A. And where's my dark green pencil? There it is. Alright, and for the this little building here, top of the B. We'll put a little purple in that. A little red in that one up there. And there's so much yellow going on right here. I'm going to put some yellow with some colored pencil up into here. Get a little yellow orange going on here to help connect that. So I often find if you take a color that from one place and you put a little bit of it somewhere else, it helps pull your design together. Since we're going to have a little red down in here, because we need to define that a little more. So we're pulling color across the design from one element to another, and that's going to start to unify the design. So we'll take a little bit of green, and we'll put it in this little walkway and hit that with a little green right there. And a little yellow in that. And we'll put some yellow in that. A little red. And over here, not sure we got room for yellow. Definitely got room for a little more red in here to connect it with the other side. Because purple and red go really well together. There. Purple is really in paint. It's red and blue together, so that goes well with that. And we could put a little of purple, have a little purple spill over into this right here. And then since red and purple go well together, we'll take a little bit of this purple and we'll put it into here and maybe do some lines in here in purple to just give that a little strength there. And we can put a little bit in the sky if we need to spill a little purple over here. That'll help connect it with that and keep that sky from being just a boring single color. Alright, now what about these little clouds? Oh, so I got that part of the O. Let's see, find a blue pencil. Now, like I said, if you don't have a lot of pencils and markers, I mean, start with the cheap stuff. And if you want to move up, I recommend going again to the art supply store, but I've collected a lot over the years, and so we just buy them at garage sales and wherever we can. So that should be blue because that's the sky. I want to put a little bit of gray in the clouds. I'm just going to use my pencil that I started this design with. I'm just going to shade the side of those clouds a little bit and right along the bottom. Just put a little shading on the right side, a little around the bottom, maybe a little shading next to that building there, and here a little shading. Kind of put like a drop shadow on the drop shadow with pencil. You can drop shadow, and drop shadow that if you want. Alright, I see this is almost done, but I want to hit the top of that a little bit. Kind of tighten that up. And it's really gotten down to a point now of just tweaking it till you're satisfied. Just want to spill a little bit of that yellow up in here like it's glowing onto it, and a little bit into here like that yellow is glowing onto these. Got some of that yellow energy shooting over there, even on the side of that. Definitely a little more up in there. Hitting the corner of that, hitting the edge of that. Nice thing about colored pencil again is that, man, you have to push down really hard to get anything out of it. So spilling a little bit of yellow onto that, filling a little bit. So we got the yellow sun energy. It's hitting the bottom of these clouds a little bit. Hitting the side of that a little bit. Hitting the side of that. Side of that. Hitting that. Alright, I'm going to call that done. Move that out of the way. And this can be done with all sorts of names. I think we'll do some more of these because this is a lot of fun. If you like this, please go ahead and let me know what name you'd like done. And subscribe to our channel so you can find out when it comes out. Tell your friends about it, and we're sure glad that you're drawing and coloring with us. Have a great day.